Now, y'all know Kyrie Irving as a ball handling, 3-point shooting, mid-range scoring superstar. But today I want to talk about how he uses communication to help the Brooklyn Nets fix the issues that they have on offense and on defense. Now, here's the first play I want to bring up. The Orlando Magic are coming down in transition.
3-point shot. Brown, no good. Rebound, Vucevic.
As you can hear Kyrie Irving, and he's pointing right here as well, he's telling DeAndre Jordan to stay high. The Orlando Magic like having Nikola Vucevic come up the floor and be at the top 3 and shoot when they're coming down in transition. Usually the center is not readily available, so Kyrie Irving notices this, tells DeAndre Jordan that you need to stay high or the Magic are going to get a 3.
Number 7 in the NBA in rebounds.
Now, as you can see, DeAndre Jordan does not go up, but James Harden is able to come up and stay on Vucevic to run him off the 3-point line so he's not able to shoot a 3. Now, as we go through the play,
Almost 12 per game. On the give to Carter Williams.
you can tell that Kyrie Irving tells Bruce Brown that he has the corner man coming through, allowing Bruce Brown to not worry about and chase the person that's in the corner. He stays on Al-Farouq Aminu. Now, if he decided to chase him, it would have resulted in 2 people being on James Ennis, and Al-Farouq Aminu would have had an open 3. So Kyrie relays the communication to Bruce Brown that, hey, I got him, don't worry about him. Now, as we go through the play, we can see how the player ends up being. They tried to get an open 3 with Vucevic, did not work. They tried to get some off-ball movement going on, that didn't work. So now the Magic had to take a 3 with Michael Carter-Williams. Michael Carter-Williams is a 25% 3-point shooter on the year. So honestly, this is a win on the Nets' part. Kyrie Irving communicated beautifully throughout the possession, showing who to guard or where to guard and what they should watch out for. And they end up with the Magic missing a 3. Great communication by Kyrie Irving. Now here's a play where Kyrie Irving's leadership comes into play. So as you can see, the Nets get a fast break. Claxton gives it to Kyrie. Kyrie drives. He has 3 people on him. He kicks it to Tyler Johnson. Now you can see Tyler Johnson, he has ample amount of space to the right where he can do a pump fake and dribble to the right, or he can drive to the right, multiple things. But instead he decides to pass it to Cabarrot. Cabarrot misses the layup and gets fouled. Now, you can see that Kyrie Irving's using his leadership right there. He goes and picks up Cabarrot. Right here is where his leadership comes into play. He tells a young Tyler Johnson, he tells him what he should have done on that play rather than pass it to Cabarrot. Even though it worked out for a foul, he tells him, he says, look, go to the right. Open amount of space to the right. Instead of passing to the left, he could have went to the right. Shows Kyrie Irving's growth as a leader and as a communicator, and I'm sure Tyler Johnson's going to heed what he said, and it's going to help him in the future. Now here's a play where Kyrie Irving's mastery of the offensive side of the ball comes into play. So boom, he brings it up the floor. He tells Joe Harris, he says, go to the left side, go to the left corner. And Joe Harris didn't see it, but he tells him again right there, and he tells DeAndre Jordan to come to the top of the 3. He tells him again, he said, go to the left corner. He's like, all right, I got you. Goes to the left corner. Now, they're basically going to run a play where it's a stagger screen, where it's Bruce Brown to the left of where DeAndre Jordan's in the screen. DeAndre Jordan's more at the free throw line. Stagger screen allows the player to get hit, the defender to get hit by the screen, so Terrence Ross is guarding him. As you can see, Nikola Vucevic gets ample amount of space for him to get through, so he doesn't struggle through either of these. He goes through both of them. Now, Kyrie Irving knows this, so he decides to run a 2-man game with DeAndre Jordan. Now, knowing that the 2-man game will draw Terrence Ross in, he knows that he can still find Joe Harris open. And James Harden's also open right here too, but he doesn't see it. So he runs a 2-man game. He gets past the first screen and he gets hit by the other screen. Terrence Ross notices what's happening. He's like, oh, he went too far back. Passes it to Joe Harris in rhythm. The hardest person to stop is a shooter in rhythm. Doesn't matter who's in front of him. In rhythm, Joe Harris, easy 3. Great read by Kyrie Irving. Now here's another play that talks about Kyrie Irving's mastery, not only on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball. So as you can see right here, he's on the opposite side of the floor, and he's surveying the entire offense of what's going on. So boom.
The Nets are surrounding.
He tells the team to watch the isolation with Al-Farouq Aminu on Joe Harris. Now the Magic throw the ball into Al-Farouq Aminu, and he tells Cabarrot to expect a screen right here.
Only 7 games.
And then as Vucevic misses the screen, he tries to set a back screen on Cabarrot, and Kyrie Irving surveying the whole thing, he says, go back.
The big three have been on the
And Cabarrot is able to stay on Terrence Ross the whole time, so the Magic are not able to get a two-man play going off of this isolation post by Al-Farouq Aminu. So now Aminu has to take the ISO against Joe Harris, and although he's completely out of position to where he can score, there's 10 seconds left on the clock, he has to go score.
court together.
Takes the ISO, turn around, miss. Great call by Kyrie Irving, helping Cabarrot get through those screens and force a miss, basically. Now, although this was a small sample size of the plays that Kyrie Irving is able to help on, it shows that Kyrie Irving is a great communicator, and I believe that he does this a lot every game. We just aren't able to see or hear what he says. I believe that if he keeps communicating like this, and if James Harden keeps communicating and Kevin Durant keeps communicating, the sky is the limit for the Nets.